y'all, so as you may have guessed from the title of the video, you are about to see something really epic. To my knowledge, I may only be the 8th person in the state to harvest a deer with a spear since it became legal last year in the state of Arkansas. That being said, a huge shout out to my buddy Mason. While I was out of state working last year, he come and hung this stand for me that I was spear hunting out of. I told him what I wanted to do, where I thought was going to be a good idea. He went in there and actually found the tree that it's in and hung it for me. So thanks, Mason. All right, y'all, so right now I have 3 deer underneath me. I have a doe and 2 yearlings. My wife made me promise that I would not take any 3 of these deer. So I'm waiting for a different deer to show up so that I can harvest one. Freaking go. I just freaking speared a deer, baby. I just speared a freaking deer. Here she is, y'all. Arkansas spear kill. I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna dedicate this doe to a good friend of mine, James Lynn Smith. He's a great friend of mine. This was always a dream of his that I've got to live out. He didn't live long enough for Arkansas to open up a spear season. So this is, all right, y'all, we'll get her loaded up in the truck, meat in the freezer, baby. Now it's time to wait for a buck. We got our meat. Oh man, what an experience. It was just unreal. All right, to skin this doe out, I'm gonna be using this GV kit my sister got for me a couple years ago for Christmas off of Amazon. I'm gonna link that below because these things are awesome. I did field dresser with it already, so you can kind of see there's blood on some stuff, but you've got a gut hook knife, a knife the same size without the gut hook, a smaller skinning knife, and a hatchet. You got a cutting board, knife sharpener, bone saw, rib spreader, meat hook, paracord, some other stuff, zip ties, and then gloves. All right, y'all, so after about 10 or 15 minutes of sitting here with these deer underneath me that I'd promised my wife I wouldn't harvest, I said a prayer and asked God to send me one that I didn't promise I wouldn't kill. And as soon as I said amen, I could hear her come walking in. Her and the mama doe got into a little bit of a quarrel underneath my tree, and she tried to use a tree that I was sitting in to get around the mama doe so that she could get to the corn pile. Mama doe come around the front of the tree I was sitting in and met her there. As they're sitting there sizing each other up, I saw my opportunity. I got my spear, tilted it, got it underneath the tree limb that was hanging right here. Sat back, and while they're sizing each other up, I just kind of give her a good little fling and smoked her. I will say this, right before I threw the spear, that doe took a step forward, so I did hit the doe a little bit further back than I intended to. However, the damage done by that spear that deer didn't go 50 yards. When I was field dressing the deer, I was looking to see what all I got. I may or may not have nicked the lung. It's hard to tell when they're deflated. Definitely destroyed the liver. Had I hit that deer there with a bow, that would be like a 3 hour before we start tracking deal and hope that she's dead. So if you ask me, is a spear an ethical way to harvest a deer? Absolutely, 110%. You've got, I don't want to say more forgiveness, but you really have more forgiveness on them hits that are a little bit further back. It definitely kills them a lot quicker. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to bend my spear back into shape, and I'm going to sharpen the blade, and I will be using that joker again. For anybody that's wondering what spear I was using Tim Wells' saber tooth spear for like $125 or something like that whenever I bought it last year. Don't know what they are now. Awesome spear. Anyway, so that's all I got for this video. Thank y'all for watching. Have a nice day.